Yeah, welcome back to another edition of WaXed Surf Talk Radio. Our next guest is someone I've been wanting to interview for a long time. I'm beyond stoked and ecstatic to have him on the program. He's one of the greatest surfers in the world, Jamie O'Brien, a.k.a. James Duncan O'Brien. Jamie, how you doing, man?
I'm good. And yourself?
Very good, thank you. Thanks for asking, man. First off, right off the bat, so on all your your Twitter, Instagram, all your social media handles, and if people want to follow Jamie, follow him at whoisjob. It says your name's Jamie O'Brien, but I've read in like various interviews that you prefer to be called James. So what is it?
Well, just like some of my closer friends call me James, and then some of the fans call me JOB, and some call me Duncan. It's just a wide spread of names. It's crazy.
Well, what do the parents call you?
What or what?
Your parents. What do they call you?
Well, when my dad's mad at me, he calls me James, and when he's not mad at me, I'm Jamie.
I love it, man.
But technically, it's James Duncan O'Brien.
Oh, and so I've been watching your show, the Red Bull series. It's on YouTube. I think it's on your Red Bull page also. It's what is it? Who is Job? Is it 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, etc. Right? Is that what it's called?
Okay, Who is JOB? Original was the original movie that we released about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we decided to do a web show, it was Who is JOB 2.0, 3.0, and then 4.0 going on 5.0.
And that's what you're filming right now, correct?
We're not currently filming yet. We start in October.
Oh my God. So I got to tell you right off the bat, I've seen every episode. I'm a huge fan, dude. I feel like what you do is how surfing should be, if that makes any sense. Like you don't take it too seriously. You do stuff that no one else does. Tell us, from my perspective, it looks like you're having nothing but a shitload of fun doing this show. Is that how it is on your end too?
Well, yeah, it's just every day, obviously we want to have fun, and the waves are not good every day. So I try to turn something that, some things were done before, some weren't done before, but hey, with a beautiful beach environment in Hawaii, break a few of the rules and, just kind of go for it with the I don't care attitude, and let's just have fun until we get shut down.
and you are, man. And I don't remember seeing him in the early episodes, but you started bringing your friend. Is his name Poopies? Is that right?
Yeah, Poopies is the man.
And well, he's the man in that whatever you tell him to do, he'll do it. He doesn't look excited doing it, but he'll suck it up. How fun, are you guys like childhood friends? Like, what's the relationship there?
Well, Poopies ended up, okay, so the story about Poopies is a buddy of mine was renting a room for me, and then I found out he was been living with someone in my house downstairs, splitting the rent, and it come to be, it was Poopies, and I was like, oh my God, who is this guy? So I kind of snapped on him, and then he ran away with his tail between his legs, and then I ended up kind of hanging out with him, and then we went on this random trip. I said, hey, you want to come to the Big Island, and we're fishing, and he was just the guy that wanted to go lobster diving, the guy that I made paddle some of the lines out during midnight where there's sharks. He just didn't care, and just one turned into two, and he was just pumped. I don't know, just ever since that, and it's been about 5 years of a solid friend relationship.
No, it's amazing. I mean, just the fact that he says yes to. I mean, you made him go down that crazy cement ramp. It was such a steep drop, 100 feet. He went down that, I think, with a skateboard or something, and then you had him surfing Jaws with a soft top. It's crazy what he says yes to. I mean, I'd keep him around too.
Yeah, it's crazy. He loves it, and he thanks me every day. When we hang out, he's like, God, thank you so much. I couldn't have done all this without you. And Poopies, he doesn't want to do it, but he has to do it, and he knows it. And I look at him straight. I'm all, Poopies, I'm your stunt coordinator. Have I ever hurt you? And he goes, no. And then he's just like, all right, well, you're doing it, So it's pretty funny. I got a good track record so far.
It is funny, man. We're joined by Jamie O'Brien here on WaXed. How do you get paid to do the show? Is it like an extra income to do it, or is that just part of you being being a Red Bull team member?
Well, it's just the best way I can explain it is I don't get paid to do it, but I do because I'm a Red Bull athlete and I get paid as a surfer. So
exactly.
I do it with love because I love filming. I love having a good time. I love hanging out with my friends, and I love the beach, the girls. Like, I love the whole atmosphere. So why not take your life and film it? And they give you a budget to film that you could, you know, buy stuff, build ramps, buy like winches that pull you in the waves, buy big inner tubes, and you know, just go mad and have as much fun as you can. And the comments we get are, "Oh my God, you guys live the dream. You guys live the life. So much fun."
It looks like you're having fun. I mean, that's all I see. And the cool thing is, like, by looking like you're having fun, it ends up being a great show. So kudos for that, man. And we'll get to that in a little bit. We're joined by Jamie O'Brien here. How'd you get into surfing? Like, I'm guessing, like, I mean, you're born and raised in on Oahu, I think. You can confirm that. But how'd you get into surfing? What got you into it?
Well, my dad, when I was young, my dad was a lifeguard, and all he wanted me to do is surf while he was at the lifeguard station. So then I would go to school, and then when I was done school, I'd catch the bus and go meet up with my dad and surf. On the weekends, I would surf, and it became a thing where I just surfed, and I didn't have any friends outside of surfing. It was just surf, surf, surf. So that's how I got started.
And what beach was he a lifeguard at that you were surfing?
He was working at Aokai Beach Park, which is about like 300 yards from Pipeline, and then he also worked at Sunset Beach, and he also worked Waimea and Haleiwa. So I was pretty much born and raised on the beach at the 7 Mile Miracle.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, that is definitely your spot. I mean, they're the king of the North Shore, one of them for sure. And I think, am I mistaken? Your dad was in at least one of the episodes, right? I mean, he still lives near you. Is that correct?
Yeah, my dad was in a few here and there. I would actually like him in there more, but I don't want to make him mad like I used to. So we just kind of stay away. And he does fishing as his occupation, and I just let him fish, and he loves the ocean, and all he wants me to do is be away and traveling.
I love it. I love it. And when you were surfing growing up, who did you idolize? Like, who'd you emulate? Who'd you see, whether it was in movies or surfing right in front of you? Who kind of, like, who'd you look up to? Like, who'd you want to kind of, take after?
Well, my first, like, icons were obviously, like, guys like Johnny Boy Gomes, Marvin Foster, just because those guys were, like, doing the things that no one else was doing. Like, Johnny Boy's backside snap under the lip at Pipeline, Johnny Boy's crazy barrels, Marvin Foster, like these crazy, like icons that are the craziest locals ever. And then it turned into, like, the Kelly Slaters, the Andy Irons, the Bruce Irons, and that's how I kind of got my whole style. I think I really focused on who was doing the best backside barrel riding, who was doing the front side, and kind of put it all together, and that's what the result is, I think.
Dude, no, it's true. The result is what it is. I mean, anyone who knows anything about surfing will say that you're one of, if not the best surfers at Pipe. I mean, and you proved it. I mean, a lot of people say, the whole reason for competitive surfing is to kind of find out who is the best surfer out there. Not everyone agrees that competitive surfing even should exist, but you went out there. What year you won the Pipe Masters? Was it 2003, 2001? I'm sorry, I can't remember what year it was, but when was that?
Well, I made my first Pipeline Master Finals in 2001, which is the first year I was entered at 18.
That's amazing.
I got fourth behind Kelly, CJ, and Bruce Irons, and then a couple of years later, I made the finals and won against Kalani Robb, Sonny Garcia, and Bruce Irons. So then it just kind of went on the thing where I ended up winning, maybe a total of 5 events out at Pipeline. And, like, I'm not the most competitive surfer, but at Pipeline, it so well, and no matter how well it doesn't result how good you do out there. It's just, it gives you definitely an advantage over everybody else, and if everything goes your way, then you're probably going to do pretty well.
Yeah, and you did amazingly well. And I think 2001, I think that was the year that CJ Hobgood actually won the world title. So he was in the final with you alongside those other guys, and then you won it 2 years later. You're 18 years old, and you get into the Pipe Masters final, and then you win the whole thing, I think, 2 years later. What was your life like before that happened versus after all that happened?
The craziest thing is that's when my career went from, like, this junior pro surfer to, like, you're pro, and you just won the Pipeline Masters at the age of 21. Like, where's this kid going? You know,
Right.
they started expecting a lot more out of me. You know, that's what it became.
Wow. So instead of like getting accolades and money and sponsorships, you felt pressure essentially, right?
Well, they you know everything came along with the money, the girls,
Right.
the new friends, the family you didn't know you had, you know. But then like and then you like, you know, it's cool. It's real humbling because like and not in a million years I thought I'd win the Pipe Masters, but in my mind I always wanted to win the Pipeline Masters. Like I'm not in the contest to get second or third. I'm there to win, and that's the only reason I'm there.
Right.
So I just like the thing that makes me the most maddest is when you make a final and you don't win. Like you're there to win.
So you do have that competitive drive. I mean, I've always read and I've seen some of your quotes saying like you don't really care much about it. So you do care about the competitive aspect of it. Is it more the ASP? Is it more the season-long grind that you're against, or like what is your take on the whole competitive thing of surfing?
You know, I just honestly don't want to be judged on, you know, making the tour and then, hey, maybe I don't do as good as everyone expected and everyone kind of puts me down. But if I don't do it, then I have nothing to live up to besides having fun, filming, going wherever I want to surf in the world and enjoying my life. I think it's a better way to live your life. I think that's me. Some people like hanging out on tour and traveling with all those people, and that's what they do.
Did you do the QS grind? Like, were you doing that?
I did the QS grind. I think the best I finished was about in the 40s. I needed a big result at Haleiwa. I didn't get the big result. I wrote to a current sponsorship that I was with at the time and said, "Hey, I don't want to do contests anymore. I want to be a free surfer. I want to make my first movie, which is Freak Show." And so we're not ready for a Jamie O'Brien movie. They wanted me to be on the QS, and I didn't want to be on the QS. So then that's when things change with sponsor agreements, and it's just a move of my career that I wanted to do that, you know, people end up supporting. So that's what I did. You know, I followed I guess Dave Rasovich, but more with a different approach, you know, kind of deal, like a Bruce Irons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I just kind of went off in this left field where no one really was, you know, and that's where I went.
Oh, and you're incredibly successful, in my opinion, doing that. And we're joined by Jamie O'Brien here on WaXed. You know, and that whole free surfing thing, when the economy crashed in about 09, 010, I mean, that whole career almost vanished. I mean, you're one of the few survivors who actually were able to continue making money free surfing, and now it's kind of picking up again. No, I have nothing but respect for what you're doing. I mean, because it looks like you're doing what you want to do and that you don't give a shit what anyone else has to say, and you're successful doing it. So congratulations in that regards, man. Props to you. That's awesome.
No, right on. Thank you. It's been a fun ride, and I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. And I just look forward to every year, man. Like we're already preparing for winter. We've been in Red Bull training at their training facility with a personal trainer, like getting in shape for winter. And winter is still 3 months out. So I'm ready.
That's good because I remember, I think, season 3 of your show, Who is J.O.B., you started the season like, and I'm not going to say chubby, but relative to how you normally are, you had a few extra pounds on you. So is that what you're trying to avoid basically? When you start the season this year, you're going to be ready in tip-top shape?
Tip-top shape. That's how it's been for the last, you know, in the last 4 years, it's been every winter but one. And one, I was like, you know, I don't even care.
I know.
And, you know, like, I want to wake up every day and do what I want to do. So when I'm in the mindset of training and eating healthy, it's like I'm in. I'm 100% committed. So that's what I am. And yeah, I'm looking forward to a great winter. It's going to be El Nino.
Oh, dude, I love it. Where are you right now? Like where are you? Like, where are we doing this interview from? Where you're at?
I'm in California right now. I'm at the Body Glove headquarters.
Oh, well, so we're like near San Clemente, something like that?
We are in Hermosa Beach.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty close to you.
It might be Redondo.
Somewhere in it. Part of that massive sprawl. Yeah, I'm probably an hour away from you in San Diego right now. So so going back to the Pipe Masters, you didn't compete last year, if I'm not mistaken, because of that crazy incident you had with Ricardo. Can you explain in your own words what happened? And I'll catch people up real quick. So basically, you were competing in, I believe, the Billabong Pro Tahiti trials. They had a trial contest to get a couple wild cards in there, and you get in some sort of altercation in the water. They never revealed the video of the incident. I would have loved to actually just to see what happened. They never like published that video. So tell us what happened, dude. Like, because I heard so many different stories.
Well, I theoretically can't speak about it, so
You can't.
It was just it was heat of the moment. The best thing I could say is my dad asked me if I did it for the right reason, and I said yeah, and my dad said all right, cool, and that's it. Ricardo's a good guy, and that's just where it stands.
Fair enough, man. I mean, my understanding is I believe you weren't allowed to compete last year in the Pipe Masters because of that. Is that why you don't want to talk about it primarily? Just enough, move on, no more punishment?
Exactly.
Totally completely understood, man. Well, for the record, from the way I saw it, I thought you got screwed over quite a bit. I wasn't a fan of that picture that he posted. I don't think a lot of people were. But yeah, we'll move on from that. I want to talk about something else real quick. You in your show, there's just women everywhere. I love the whole jacuzzi opening you had, I think, your first season or two. And there's this image of Hawaii of just there being like the most beautiful women alive, and they're everywhere. There's a plethora of them. But I've been to Hawaii a bunch of times, and I know from what I've seen, there's like a 10-to-1 ratio of guys to girls, that it's like the worst place in the world for a guy to be if he's single. Now, in Jamie O'Brien's shoes, what is a chick scene like from where you're sitting in Hawaii?
It's a hot and cold place. In the winter, it really fires up, and there's chicks everywhere, and I'm even baffled. I don't know who they are, where they came from, but it's the best thing in the world. But then again, there is 1,000 extra people there, trying to swindle everything. So it's this crazy thing. So, but then in the summer, you get a lot of tourists. So it's a real happy medium. So in the summer, I don't know, man. There's chicks. Hawaii has a lot of chicks. But California probably has a million more.
Yeah, California has a million more. Do they all, when you encounter all these women, do they know who you are, or do you actually have to do the whole introduction and tell them you're a pro surfer?
It really sucks. I'm never to be the guy that do the introduction, and they all figure out exactly who you are, what you do, no matter whether you like it or not.
That's funny, and that helps you though, right? Them knowing who you are, or doesn't it?
It goes both ways, because everyone knows. I'm not saying everyone knows me, but everyone will be like, "Oh, Jamie O'Brien. Oh yeah, that surfer guy. Oh," they could look me up on the internet in 2.2 seconds and see freaking a million things about me and what I do.
Right.
So versus just like an average guy that goes to work every day. He's not going to be as talked about as the surfer guy, and I think it really sucks. Theoretically, it sucks. You're an easy conversational piece because of what you do, and they rank you of some weird sort. I don't understand it, but it's not fair.
Well, the bright side is, and naturally from my perspective, I have to Google everyone I interview and do a little research, and everything that I looked up for you was positive. I mean, is there do you think they're actually finding stuff that's negative, or I mean, I don't know. I feel like everything's just a plus, a bonus. When they Google your name, they're like, oh my God, this is a pro surfer that charges harder than anybody. I mean, is there other negatives out there you think they're finding, or I mean, what?
Well, maybe they don't like you for the right reason.
That's fun. Jamie O'Brien here on WaXed. Have you ever been in a serious relationship, or have you been just a lifelong bachelor?
Okay, so I had a 5-year, and then I broke up, and I was mentally probably still with her for about a year and a half, and then I was single for 3 years, which was awesome. Then I had a girlfriend for a year, and then we broke up, and I was probably mentally not ready there for about a couple months, but then I was single again for 3 years. So, and then now I have a girlfriend, so it's it's trying to balance it out. It's I've been in a relationship for 6 months, and I've literally seen my girlfriend for 2 months.
Damn, is she local?
She's from San Clemente, California.
Oh.
So it's she's cool in the respect. She's a real nice person, hanging in there. I'm just but it's this crazy life. I told my friend today, he tried to make plans with a friend girl, and he's like, hey, I'm going to go on Saturday to go hang out with her for the weekend. I'm all, there's a swell on the weekend. So it's you need to work and I need to film. And I'm sorry, but we don't live a normal life. This is what we need to do, and it's awesome, and we're going to do it. And then he got mad, and then we talked about it, and he agreed. I have not been home in 4 months.
Oh my God! But you know, like a lot of these, at least the guys in the ASP, and I know you have a different schedule than them, but for them, they just tow their woman along. I mean, is that an option for you, or does she have her own thing going on?
Well, she's going to school and studying and whatnot, you know.
Gotcha.
So it's just, you know, one of those things. Like, are you the guy that brings your babe on every single trip and you don't get any space, and you need to go work and do your job. You're not like always there, like, you know, trying to be the lovebird guy. Like, you wanna go hang out with the boys. You want to surf. Like, you're there to surf. You don't. Most of the time, you don't have opportunities to take them around. But I mean, certain places, yes, for sure, 100%. But most of the places, I don't think girls really want to go.
I hear you. That makes sense. Is she someone that's famous, or is she a low key person?
Oh, she works at a restaurant.
Oh, gotcha. That's cool. No,
Yeah,
I respect that. No, dude. I always said if I was a pro surfer, I would not want to date like a celebrity. I feel like that's too much.
Well, here's the deal. I figured it out. The model, she looks good. She's all pretty. They start losing it. They get a facelift. They get lip injections. They get fake tits. They get whatever they need to stay pretty. So they're high maintenance, and they're going to cost you money unless which I don't think there's a lot of them that are not so high maintenance, that maybe are just relaxed and they don't really care about that. And good luck on finding her.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you saw this recent video that went around that got viral about the guy who draws like a map of women and how to figure them out, and he, you know, it's like from 0 to 10 of hotness, and they go from 4 to 10 of crazy, because you know there's no such thing as a woman who's not crazy and whatnot. They're all crazy. They're all crazy. That's just me though. But I get where you're coming from, and congratulations on being in a relationship, dude. It's hard to find someone that you actually want to settle down with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the struggle's real.
The struggle is totally real. That's so true. Dude, I've been talking for way too long. I'm gonna let you go in a second here. But one of the many things you do in your videos is you charge these crazy waves with a soft top. I remember the first time you did this, and you've been doing this for like years, at least like 5 years now or something, where you take these soft tops out, like these total beginner boards, and you're charging Pipeline. You recently took them out to Jaws. Like, do people ever approach you? Like, do surfboard shapers approach you kind of eggy about that? Because, you know, you might be painting this picture that, like, you can use the soft top to surf anything, or do they laugh at it like everyone else?
I'm sure there's probably a couple of people thinking, why am I doing that? And including my filmer was getting mad at me a couple of years ago because I was not surfing on my normal surfboard, and I was just messing around. But, like, I do it just because I like surfing for the challenge. And when I'm usually soft topping, I'm using the board to disadvantage me to make it more challenging. And that's what I think surfing's all about, is being challenged. Like, okay, I'm a pro surfer and I could, you know, do X amount of things on my surfboard or whatever it is, you know, but like, I think it's fun to take a board that's 10 times worse than that board could ever be, and then just take it to the limits and making that board one of your favorite boards in your quiver. I think that's the coolest thing.
Agreed. Absolutely. And not to mention, I feel like, were you taking them out initially because it was easier to switch boards? Because you were doing that before anyone else I ever saw, where you would be charging this crazy huge wave, you'd be carrying another board under your arm, and then you ditch the board you were surfing for the other one. Is that how the soft top thing started, or was it literally just because you wanted to do something different?
I'm just trying to keep it different. I learned that from Chris Ward about 10, 12 years ago, but he did it on a wave that was knee high. So I was like, hey, I want to paddle in that pipe, step off my soft top, and pull in and get the biggest barrel and come out. And I almost pulled it all together to pull a wave that could have been gone down in history over the craziest wave ever gone down, of like at least top 10. And I kind of screwed up, and it like still haunts me to this day, because if I would have made that wave, it would just. But it was pretty crazy when I made that. When I didn't make the wave and I came up, I had a standing ovation at Pipeline on the beach, and I've never had that in my life unless I won the contest.
That's amazing.
So that was a cool moment.
Did you not make it simply because the soft top was too slow? Is that what screwed you up?
No, the soft top did everything perfect. When I stepped off, I actually was riding a smaller board that was made for small, like knee to waist high waves. So when I jumped off, the fins the fins weren't set. The fins weren't set correctly, so I couldn't. It slowed me down because the fins weren't angled right. So it slowed me down, and then I got it, and then it wouldn't let me down.
That's a shame, man. Listen, man, dude, I've been wanting to interview you for a long time. Thank you so much for taking the time. Dude, I'm one of your biggest fans. I watch all your shows. I've seen all your videos when I was younger. Follow Jamie O'Brien on Twitter and Instagram at whoisjob. You have a massive amount of followers there. And who are all your sponsors, dude? Who's paying all your bills?
Well, Red Bull, Body Glove, Osiris shoes. We got tools, accessories. There's like grip, leashes, board bags, Nectar sunglasses. I got a range of a whole bunch, and GoPro is definitely been the most awesome sponsor as well. You know,
beautiful,
in helping making content for the show. Tokoro surfboards, which is like just no brainer to ride in Hawaii
or anywhere, really.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's about it. We got Pupukea Grill. If you guys are ever in Hawaii, go to Pupukea Grill for the best food on the North Shore. Beautiful. And the most nicest people you'll ever meet.
Beautiful. So you eat there like 7 days a week, basically.
Between Pupukea Grill and Teahupoo Superette, you'll find me pretty easy.
Oh, dude, I love it, man. And you'll be competing in the Pipe Masters in December. It'll be great to have you back out there rooting for you. Let's at least reach the finals if not win this thing. Anything else you want to promote or plug, or are you good?
No, thanks. You guys just look forward to Who Is JOB 5.0. Should be dropping in January, hopefully sometime, and got some crazy stuff planned, and I hope it all goes through well.
Yeah, we do too, man. And my co-host Omar Echeverry, I don't know if you know who he is. He used to compete on the Key West once upon a time, but he's not here today. His daughter was born a week ago, but he was bummed he couldn't make the interview. But dude, thank you so much. It was a pleasure, dude. Best of luck in December at the Pipe Masters again, and looking forward to Who Is JOB 5.0. And do you have a website too? Is it? I thought he had JamieO'Brien.com, but I went there recently and it wasn't working or something. Is that?
Yeah, there's no JamieO'Brien.com, but you know how web guys are. It's just a nightmare.
I love it, man.
So keep it simple with Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook fan page, and that's about it.
Love it. Who Is JOB is the handle for Twitter and Instagram. And a pleasure, man. Have fun in California for the rest of your trip, and I look forward to seeing you competing and doing all your videos, brother.
Right on. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
You too, Jamie. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And that's Jamie O'Brien, the one, the only, the man, here on WaXed Surf Talk Radio.
That is it for us today, and we will leave you with a... I can't do it. No. We'll do it live. Do it live. Thing sucks.